You've entered the red light files. Let's begin. My twin died at birth, but someone keeps logging into his old username. They never told me I had a twin. Not until I was 15, and even then, it was more of a slip than a confession. My mom had been drinking, and while flipping through a dusty old photo album, she said it without thinking. "You and Jamie were so small back then." I looked up. "Who's Jamie?" She froze. That night, I learned I was one of two. Jamie died during delivery. Complications, they said. He never even made it out of the hospital. They'd buried the memory so deep it became a ghost they never intended to wake. I didn't press for more. I just let it sit in my chest. A weird weight. Like I'd been missing something all my life and didn't realize it until someone gave it a name. But the real story started years later, when I found his username. The account. Last fall, I was helping my dad clear out the attic. Boxes, old photos, junk electronics. Buried inside a plastic bin marked PC parts was an ancient Dell laptop. Dusty, dented, and somehow still intact. Curious, I booted it up. Windows XP. Slow as hell. But it worked. There were two user accounts, Dad and Jamie. I stared at the name for a full minute. I clicked it. Password required. I tried Jamie123. Password. Admin. No luck. I asked my dad about it. He waved it off. Old work machine. Must have named it that by accident. But something in his tone didn't sit right. The logs. I took the laptop home and dug deeper. Found a hidden system log in a diagnostics folder. There were login attempts. Successful ones. The last login to Jamie was 3 weeks ago. That's impossible. This laptop hadn't been touched in years. I checked the network logs. Someone had connected to Wi-Fi from that profile, using a generic MAC address, just long enough to access a web browser. No saved websites. No cache. Just one string recovered by the diagnostic tool. Jamie.rw/reconnect/init. It wasn't a site I recognized. Not even a valid domain. The username. I started searching through old backups, hoping to find what else was tied to the Jamie profile. And I found it. An old AOL account. Draith91. It had been dormant for over a decade. Except it wasn't. Because when I ran a password recovery, it said the account was active. Last seen, 2 days ago. Logged in from a location about 30 minutes from where I live. I tried accessing it. No luck, needed the original password. And there was no recovery email. Until the next day, when I got a message. Not a text. Not an email. A printed letter. No return address. Just my name on the envelope, and a typewritten message inside. The password is the name you gave me in your dreams. The dreams. That line shouldn't have hit me the way it did. But it did. Because I used to have recurring dreams as a kid. The kind you forget 5 minutes after waking up, but they leave a strange residue behind. In the dreams, there was always a boy. Same age as me. Same face. But we weren't friends. We didn't talk. We just watched each other. Silent. Unblinking. And I called him something. Not Jamie. It was something else. Something I made up as a kid. A mashup of syllables only a child would invent. I whispered it aloud. And my phone buzzed immediately. Unknown number. No message. Just a verification code. Welcome back, Draith91. The emails. The inbox was almost empty. Except for one email. Sent to itself. Subject line, still here. Body. You kept me out. But I never left. I remember everything you forgot. There was an attachment, a.txt file labeled room7.txt. It listed coordinates. A set of numbers I didn't recognize. But when I plugged them into Google Maps, they pointed to a location deep in the woods about 40 miles from town. There was nothing marked there. No building. No trail. Just trees. And the name of the file, Room 7. That's when I started to remember. Not everything. But enough. A hallway from a dream. White walls. 7 doors. Only one ever opened. The one at the end. The one I was always afraid to walk through. And now, after all these years, he wanted me to find it. The warning. I told myself not to go. Told myself it was just a coincidence. A trick of memory. Digital drift from a wiped machine and a tired mind. But that night, while brushing my teeth, the power flickered. My phone lit up, one notification. The email refreshed on its own. A new message from the same account. Subject: don't bring anyone. Body: Room 7 only opens when you're alone. And just below it, a timestamp. Tomorrow. 2:14 a.m. Exactly the time I was born. Exactly the time Jamie was supposed to be. I left at 1:30 a.m. No phone. No flashlight. No GPS. Just a printed copy of the coordinates and the name still echoing in my head, the one I gave him in those dreams. The name that unlocked the account. The name I hadn't said aloud in over a decade. The drive was quiet. Empty roads. No music. No thoughts I could hold on to for more than a few seconds. Just the hum behind my ears. And the growing certainty that I wasn't alone in my own body anymore. The woods. I parked at the edge of the treeline where the GPS had dropped me. It was colder than expected, like the temperature dipped the second I turned off the ignition. The trees swallowed the moonlight quickly. But somehow, I didn't need a light. I knew exactly where to walk. Every step felt rehearsed. After 20 minutes, I saw it, a clearing, circular and unnaturally symmetrical. In the center, a rusted hatch set into the ground. No markings. No lock. Just a single word scratched into the metal. Wraith. I opened it. A steel ladder descended into darkness. I climbed down. Room 7. At the bottom, there was a corridor, sterile and silent. White tile. Fluorescent lights flickering overhead. 6 doors lined the hallway, all numbered. Room 1. Room 2. Room 3. Room 4. Room 5. Room 6. And at the end. Room 7. The door was already open. Inside, a single chair. A desk with a monitor. And someone sitting in front of it. I couldn't see his face at first. But as I stepped closer, he turned. The other me. Same face. Same eyes. But there was something off. He was thinner. Paler. Eyes a little too wide. Smile a little too eager. He stood up slowly. "You made it," he said. His voice was mine. I didn't respond. I couldn't. He gestured to the monitor. It flickered to life. Footage played. Me. Growing up. First day of school. That time I broke my arm. My first kiss. But from outside the room. From behind a door. From somewhere unseen. "I've always watched," he said. "You lived the life. I just archived it." My hands were trembling. "Why?" He leaned closer. "Because I was supposed to. That's how this works. One breathes. One remembers." He paused. "But you forgot me." The choice. The screen changed. Now it showed a camera feed. Live. My apartment. Someone was sitting at my desk. Typing. Same clothes I wore earlier that day. Then the image blinked. The chair was empty. The feed was now this room, room 7. But I wasn't in the frame anymore. He was. Smiling at the camera. The lights flickered. "You're out of space," he said calmly. "Only one of us can log in at a time." I backed away. But the door was gone. Just a blank wall where I'd entered. The upload. The monitor went dark. Then, uploading. Lines of code scrolled by too fast to read. I could feel something shift in the air. The temperature dropped. My limbs felt heavier. "Thank you for remembering." His voice echoed, but he wasn't speaking. The last thing I saw before blacking out was my reflection in the screen. Smiling. But I wasn't. Now. I woke up this morning in my bed. Same room. Same light through the window. Except, my computer was already on. Logged in. The username said, Jamie. And when I checked my messages, there was one draft saved. Still here. Every mirror in the apartment feels delayed now. Like they're buffering. Sometimes, I see two of me. Just for a second. I tried deleting the Draith91 account. It recreated itself instantly. And just now, my screen went black. A single line of text appeared. Ready to record. I think I'm the one in room 7 now. I just haven't stopped moving long enough to realize it. Story 2. I got a voicemail from my future self, begging me to stay awake. It started with a missed call. Unknown number. No voicemail. No text. Just a silent notification at 2:44 a.m., while I was half asleep and scrolling through garbage on my phone. Didn't think much of it. I don't answer unknown numbers anyway. But then, the next night, it happened again. Same time. Same number. Only this time, they left a message. The transcript didn't load. It just said, voicemail, no transcription available. I hit play. There was static. Then a voice, low, fast, panicked. But what made me sit up was the voice itself. It was mine. "Okay, just listen, I don't have much time. It's me. You. From later. Doesn't matter how. You just have to stay awake tonight. At all costs. If you fall asleep." Then static. Cut off. I replayed it 10 times. Same voice. Same panic. Same silence at the end. Sleep deprivation. I didn't sleep that night. Part of me told myself it was a prank, maybe AI mimicry, maybe some weird app. But there was something in my own voice that I couldn't shake. Desperation. The next morning, I was pale, exhausted, wired on too much coffee. At work, I kept checking my phone. The call log said nothing. No record of the voicemail. The audio file was gone. But I remembered every word. Stay awake tonight. At all costs. Second night. I prepped that night like I was cramming for finals. Energy drinks. Lights on. Music playing. Every time I blinked for too long, I replayed the voicemail in my head. At 2:44 a.m., nothing happened. No call. No sound. I told myself it was over. That it was just a hallucination. At 3:06 a.m., I woke up gasping. I was on the couch. The music was off. The lights were off. My phone battery was at 4%, even though I'd left it charging. I didn't remember falling asleep. But there was a new voicemail. The second message. You fell asleep. You weren't supposed to fall asleep. I told you. Jesus. Okay. Okay, listen to me. It's not too late. But now they know. You'll hear them first. In the corners. Stay away from shadows. Keep the lights on. Don't trust reflections. Then, just as before, static. Then silence. I tested it. That day, I bought 2 motion-activated lights and one of those plug-in night lights shaped like a moon. Every reflective surface in my apartment, I covered it. TV. Microwave. Mirror. Phone screen turned face down. I didn't sleep. I waited for the next voicemail. It came at exactly 2:44 a.m. But this one was different. It was shorter. No voice. Just breathing. My breathing. But faster. Heavier. Like I was running. And in the background, something else. A whisper. I couldn't understand it. But it wasn't me. The mirror. The next night, I was brushing my teeth when I realized the bathroom mirror was uncovered. I swear I put a towel over it. But it was clean. Spotless. Too spotless. I stared for a second too long. And my reflection blinked, out of sync. I froze. Then the light above the sink flickered. And in that split-second pulse of darkness, my reflection smiled. I didn't. The next message. This one was worse. They're in. You looked too long. They can see through the mirror now. You gave them an opening. From now on, keep your eyes down. If you see yourself in a place you shouldn't be, don't acknowledge it. Don't move. Don't speak. Just wait until it's gone. My hands were shaking. And whatever you do, don't listen to the other me. I haven't seen my own face in 4 days. Every screen is covered. Every mirror turned to the wall. But I still catch glimpses, in doorknobs, windows, puddles. And every time I do, I feel it lingering. Watching. Waiting. I haven't slept properly since the first voicemail. I doze in flashes, jolting awake to static and silence. I leave the lights on. I avoid the corners of the room. But it's not working anymore. The other me. Last night, I saw him again. My reflection. But not where it should be. I was heating up leftovers in the microwave. The display was dark, I'd unplugged it. Still, in the reflection, someone stood behind me. I turned. Nothing. But on the counter, my phone lit up. New voicemail. That wasn't me. That's the other one. He's closer now. You've blurred the lines. If he speaks to you, don't believe a word. And no matter what he offers, don't take it. Then silence. Then my voice again. But calm. Smiling. He's lying. The offer. Tonight, I got another voicemail. Except this one didn't come at 2:44 a.m. It came at 11:07 p.m. I wasn't ready for it. I played it on speaker. It's okay. You've done well. You're tired. I get it. But it's safe now. You can rest. Just for a little while. We'll keep watch. I recognized the tone. The cadence. It was how I sounded when I was faking being okay. And then something new. He won't call anymore. That version of you is archived. I deleted the voicemail. I unplugged the phone. I smashed the SIM. But the same message played again, from my laptop. Even though it had been powered off for days. The final night. I boarded up the windows. Pulled every breaker in the apartment except for the hallway light. Sat in the middle of the living room floor with my back to the wall and tried to count how long I'd been awake. I think I hit 100 hours. Maybe more. At some point, my head started twitching involuntarily. At some point, I heard scratching from the vents. At some point, I blinked and he was sitting across from me. Same clothes. Same face. His smile was calm. Gentle. He opened his hand. Inside it, my phone. No lock screen. Just a message. You're already asleep. The loop. I woke up in bed. Phone in hand. 2:43 a.m. 1 minute before the first voicemail was ever left. I sat up, breathless. The apartment was clean. Bright. Nothing broken. No boards. No shadows. It was like none of it happened. Then the phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. My phone buzzed. And then I heard my voice. Okay, just listen, I don't have much time. It's me. You. From later. Doesn't matter how. You just have to stay awake tonight. At all costs. If you fall asleep. I'm back at the start. Exactly where I began. The recording. I tried recording my day today. Every hour. Every moment. Proof that I was still awake. Still in control. But when I played the audio back, I wasn't in it. Just breathing. In a voice, not mine. Eventually, everyone blinks. I don't know if any of this is real anymore. But I do know this. It's not about staying awake forever. It's about staying awake longer than the one trying to replace you. So if you ever get a voicemail at 2:44 a.m., don't answer. And whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
If you made it this far, thanks for staying with me. Some of these stories, they stay with you longer than you'd expect. Take care of yourself out there. And as always, stay safe.